so that we are streaming live. And we're streaming live now on YouTube. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the Word for the Day Mastermind Workshop. Progress requires unlearning. Wow. Yes, I see you live, Michelle, on Facebook. Yes. I don't know how you do all this stuff, but I'm gonna learn it. Right, Val? We gonna learn it.
All right, so we're going to be going live. Yeah, we are going to be going, well, we are live already on Facebook and YouTube, but the workshop will be starting in about 2 minutes. If you want to share the live stream, you can go to my first Facebook page, which is Michelle A. Wilson Official, or YouTube, which is Michelle A. Wilson. But then these are going to be up, so you can also share and have access to them after our workshop today. So we're so honored to have you and really thankful to have all of you here today. So we'll be getting started shortly. Oh, I see it too. All righty. Are we counting down? There's no clock in here. We got 1 more minute.
Okay.
We really do need a countdown. Hello, Susie and Brian. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey. And Coach Brian. Oh my goodness.
Yes, coach,
Wow.
coach.
Coach Brian. I remember those days. Oh my gosh.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to learn something from you all today. So
Yes,
what
since you are
what I
actually
learned
my coach.
what I learned recently was that the more I know I don't know.
Exactly. I always say it's what I don't know, right? It's not what I know, it's what I don't know is going to help me grow. So welcome to the Word for the Day Mastermind call, or actually our workshop. We're so excited to have you here today. And the name of our workshop is Progress Requires Unlearning. And the word for the day, mastermind. We have been in existence for actually, we're celebrating our 14th year on August 10th. And we're so grateful and thankful. And before we get started, I want to actually just acknowledge our host, introduced our host. We have myself, I'm Michelle Wilson. I am a TV host and executive producer. The name of my show is Mompreneur Conversation Show, and I really just empower moms who are raising special needs children to start a purpose-driven life. That's my mission and my purpose. We also have Miss Kimberly Todd Tellis. She is the business concierge, and she provides business owners various services from cost-effective legal services to impactful direct mail marketing. And then we have Miss Val Medley. She is an entrepreneur. And she is really driven by a passion for making a difference. She empowers others to really achieve their dreams. And then we have the amazing Dr. Carla Gray, and she is a greatness coach. And her mission is to equip and empower the masses to grow their self love for greatness. So that's our team. And then also want to give honor and thanks to our one of our co-founders, Miss Debbie George Fritz, who was a pillar to this call for years. And we would just always honor her because she was remarkable. She was an amazing, transformational. I learned so much from her. And so we just always want to give her honor and thanks as we continue, because she really led the call, and now it's like a legacy call. We've took in, we uplifted each other, and we are continuing on serving our community. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off. I think we go to the next slide, Miss Carla Gray, Dr. Carla Gray. So first, we had created a mission together as leaders several years ago. So I want to go ahead and read our mission statement. We are truly changing lives one word at a time. And the word for the day, family, is an inclusive community of like-minded individuals who are committed to learning, growing, and achieving. And we support everyone's personal and professional leadership growth and development. And we encourage participation and feedback in our daily calls. We have a social media group. We have a group on Facebook. We have special events like this one we're doing today. And we believe in everyone's potential and their ability to create their own vision, set and achieve their own goals, and live a life of balance, significance, and abundance. So that's who we are. We are the word for the day mastermind, and we love to say that we are a family. And so we're going to go ahead. Next slide. Our session goal today is really for you to apply. We have been studying atomic habits for over a year. And basically how our mastermind group works is that we meet on Clubhouse 15 minutes a day. And what we do is we have series. Our first series was the language of achievement. We've done Think and Go Rich, how successful people think. And we just take 15 minutes a day and we actually go through the workbooks. We're not just an inspirational or motivational call, we're a development call.
Amen.
So as I said, one of our mission statement is our events. And so during this our goal today is that we are continuing to apply the strategies of Atomic Habits by James Clear, and we will help you unlearn ineffective habits while creating new effective identity-based habits. And of course, it's all about living a life of balance, significance, and abundance. And so what you can expect. You can expect to understand the habit formation while applying specific concepts and strategies, tools outlined in the Atomic Habits book. We'll review a power sheet that I'm going to be introducing Kimberly Tautella. She's going to share some terms and concepts and strategies with you. Then we'll also be talking about the habit scorecard. You are going to have the opportunity to complete a scorecard in this workshop. And we're also going to help you write an identity-based habit goal. And then we're also going to do what's called a implementation intention. It's a statement to help you achieve your identity-based goal. And then our next step, what you're going to do to take action to continue on in your personal growth. And so I'd like to go ahead, and I believe you're up next, Kimberly. Miss Kimberly Tautella, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Michelle. And I'll tell you, this book is changing my life. When you think about tiny changes bringing remarkable results. I think we underestimate. Can you go back to the first slide? Here's Unlearning. Wow. Okay, Atomic Habits, tiny changes, remarkable results. I think all of us underestimate the small things that we could do to change our lives, the little tiny things that we could do that over time have a compound effect and give us a remarkable result. Next slide. Your habits reveal your identity. I'll tell you, when I ran against this in the book, I was scared, I was curious, I was excited, because I had to take a magnifying glass and start looking at what I did and how that lined up to who I was. And I never thought about anything like that. That had never crossed my mind. Next slide. Progress is unlearning. You want to talk about a slap in the face? Honestly, I thought it was always about learning the next thing. But quite frankly, how could we learn something new without releasing something old that is no longer serving us? I really understand now that I can't learn new concepts, systems, or deal with challenges unless I unlearn some things that I'm comfortable doing. And that's it. I got to leave the comfort zone and get uncomfortable. Next slide. Family, I have never run against somebody talking about an identity-based goal. And let me tell you this, I have embraced corporate goals for pretty much all of my life. I did what the company said. I did what they had designed. I never thought about an identity-based goal. And I can tell you for the number of years that I did this in a results-oriented goal, I was always disappointed with my performance. And I will tell you this, it's with a breath of fresh air that I can start to think about an identity-based goal. 1% better every day. I'll tell you, my brain embraces that. And you know what it does? It automatically prevents you from overwhelm, because we all can try to do 1% better every day. All of us can. So this gives me hope. My brain says, I can do that. I want to do that. I can teach others to do that. It's the all out massive action that I was told to take for so many years that always had me in overwhelm. 1% better every day will minimize procrastination. Oh, I love the feedback loop. I will tell you, family, understanding the feedback loop gives you a new lens to look at what you do. You actually can glean why you do what you do. And that type of awareness can set you free. When you learn your own cravings, when you learn how to respond, when you learn the key to the reward, you are on your way to actually looking at what you do and how it affects you. But this, the plateau of latent potential, this is that desert season where you've got to push through with whatever you're doing. That habit, that project, that thing that you need to do, you have to do it long enough, because this is where the breakthrough territory is. You've got, I can't press through the behavior change unless I go through the plateau of latent potential. And that is, you've got to do something long enough to experience the breakthrough. It's not going to happen overnight. Some people say 21 days for a habit. You know what? Everybody has their own personal recipe. Everybody does. It might be 14 days or 30 days, or you know what, might be 90 days. But however long it takes, there's a distinction that you own when you've done something long enough to break through. And that season of pressing is the plateau of latent potential. Next slide. The 4 laws of behavior change, James Clear spells it out. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. When you make something obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, isn't that easier to get done? I mean, isn't that something you can put on your calendar and get done with some consistency and persistency? Why? Because it's obvious, it's attractive, it's easy, and it's satisfying. And James Clear is giving us proven strategies to create our habits in such a way where we can totally jump into the 4 laws of behavior change. Next slide. Who do you wish to become? This book is actually opening my mind to the potential that's inside of me and how I can say yes to things I've never said yes to before. It is actually helping me leverage some of the strategies in this book to just feel different. I will tell you, I feel different about doing the dishes now. I didn't always do that. I had an attitude about it. And I always was thinking about these dirty dishes. But you know what? When I was reading this book, what I discovered was it's not the dirty dishes in the sink. It's how quickly I am committed to getting the clean ones out of the dishwasher, in the cupboard, so I can put those dirty dishes in the dishwasher. I'm telling you, family, it was a total mind blower. And now I actually love doing the dishes. Yes, I love it. Only on Atomic Habits and only in this community. If you want to dive in with us, we're doing 50 minutes a day. And if you can't do it when we do it, we do replays. You can schedule it in your calendar. You can do 15 minutes a day, and you can watch yourself in 7, 30, 90 days. Take a little bite out of this and see how it will affect the way that you do life. And with that, I am complete.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. And I love what you said. It's about the person who you want to become. And that's what we're really going to be working on today.
Yes.
Strategy with Atomic Habits and James Clear. And so each activity that we're going to do today is based on the strategies from his book. And it's really it's a building block, right? So we're going to right now we're going to be talking about the habit scorecard. And what the habit scorecard is, it's really just a awareness tool. And years ago, I learned that awareness is the point at which one reaches when knowledge begins to influence effective behavior. So we're talking about behavior today. So the more we are aware, the better chances we have to transform our lives. And that's what the scorecard is always, that's what the scorecard is all about. And hopefully you were able to get the workbook with the scorecard. If not, you can just pull out a piece of paper because this is an interactive workshop. And so I'm going to kind of describe what the scorecard is all about. And then we're going to give you a few minutes so that you can actually create your own scorecard. And really the big difference between, as I said, knowing something and being aware of something is when you can connect the dots. So that's what this tool is all about. And it's a process about understanding your behavior. And so, unfortunately, throughout the day, when we wake up first thing in the morning, we have these automatic behaviors and we're very unconscious of what we're doing. So, we're simply going to take a sheet of paper, or if you have the worksheet, and we're going to really identify from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, what you do. And it could be a long list, it could be a short list. And really, as I said, it's just an identifying tool. As we continue with our workshop, we're going to discover what is it that you want to achieve, like in the next 4 months. We're going to be going into 2025 shortly. What do you want to achieve? Who do you want to become in the next 4 months? And you can start with the habit scorecard. And so, as I said, you want to make a list. And the longer the list and comprehensive, the more effective it is. And really what the list is going to look like, you're going to identify the habits. Like when I wake up in the morning, I say a prayer. I know for me, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I trained my brain to say, this is the day the Lord has made. Be grateful. So I want to always wake up with a grateful heart. And so I'll put, wake up, my first thought of the day. Then I turn off my alarm. I check my phone. Then I go to the restroom. You may weigh yourself in the morning. Or did you take a shower? You brush your teeth, floss your teeth. So you're going to write down everything you do in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening. And today is just a getting started, but this is going to take a little time. And as I said, the purpose of this, once you write it down, then you're going to really analyze these behaviors. You're going to put a plus to it if it's a good habit. You're going to put a negative if it's a bad habit, and then you're going to put an equal if it's a neutral habit. And we're not trying to determine really whether or not these are bad or good habits. It's really about, are they effective habits? And so for me, I know one of the habits I had that I identified throughout, going through this process is I love kettle corn, barbecue, potato chips. And when I go online, certain part of the week, I go online and, I do some ordering. I love Target, and I always put it in the cart, go to the store and pick it up. And when I get home, I open up that bag and I can't just eat one. I eat 2, 3, and throughout the day, the bag is gone. And so when I wrote that down to really understand that that was a habit, right? I didn't even know it was a habit because I did it so unconsciously. And so I am so proud to say I haven't bought a bag of potato chips in 4 weeks. because I am aware, I was running on
Yay.
autopilot. So I'm just so thankful and grateful because that was like one of those habits. I was beating myself and thinking, oh my gosh, how come I don't, the self-control and self-willingness. And, we understand in the process, it's about triggers and cues. And that's what Atomic Habits is really all about, and understanding our behavior and why this is happening. So now we're going to give you some time so that we can create your scorecard. And as I said, if you have the workbook, it's on page 6. If not, that's okay. Just pull out a piece of paper. We're going to give you like about 3 to 4 minutes to start just writing it down. And if you would like to, you can put the equal, the plus, or the negative, but really just write down, the first exercise is just really to write down your habits. And as I said, this tool helps you recognize and elevate your daily habits and behaviors. And then we're going to have a Q&A if you have any questions about the scorecard, or even just to share your thoughts about the scorecard. So we'll go ahead, and I'm going to be quiet for about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to put a timer on so that you can go ahead and start creating your scorecard. The little do 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 do, but I just want to interject while you're writing that down. If you're having trouble determining how to rate a particular habit, there is a question you can ask yourself. Does this behavior help me become the type of person I wish to be? You can also ask yourself, does this habit cast a vote for or against my desired identity? As I said, habits reinforce your desired identity are generally good. So habits that conflict with your desired entity are generally bad. Okay, we have about 2 more minutes.
Right. Singing like the bee, I heard besides. I want to take a road. You might hit the road. Yeah, but yeah, on a street, down. Yeah, because of
I just muted because I know that sometimes when we play music, our live will get shut off. So because if it's not copyrighted, so that's why I kind of muted you, Dr. Carla.
I think what's interesting for me is depending on what day it is, I'm doing something different. like Wednesdays, my Toastmasters meeting, Tuesdays, my worship design. So I have certain things that I don't do every day, but every day is different.
So you may want to just create a seven, have a 7 day. If you feel like you have 7 days that your schedule is different, you may want to have a scorecard for each day.
Oh, that's a good idea, Michelle. Thank you.
And we have about 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, great job, everyone. And I just want to let you know that, this is just a get starting right choice, right? And the goal of this exercise is really not to change your behavior right now. It's all about identifying the behaviors. And so, as Kimberly was just saying, hey, she just realized that each day is different for her, right? So, have a scorecard for each day because your habits may be different, and it would be kind of interesting to compare those days, right? Is there something there that you're doing differently on this day as opposed to that day? So who would like to just share what they've written, what their experience or insight is regarding this exercise? We can start off with our moderators. Just kind of raise your hand or unmute yourself. I'll go out, Miss Kimberly, to tell us if you'd like to share anything else.
I'm amazed at how much I do by what day it is, and the things and the simple things that I do every single day, like walk, drink my apple cider tea, things like that. But seeing it on paper is something else, because it's, when it's in your mind, it's really out. But now that it's written on paper, it's something I can really look at. Thanks for allowing me to share.
Thank you so much. And you're so right. Each day I have different days that I feel like I'm doing more of. And, those are the days probably that I'm getting triggered more, right? Because I'm not taking time to eat a healthy meal. So I'm just grabbing something, right? That potato chip. So I think it's a great idea that, just like I said, this is just a awareness tool. So Lada, we would love to hear from you.
Thank you, Michelle. Hello, everyone. Just by starting this exercise, I was only identifying from 5:30 a.m. till 8, which made me thought that I have been recently creating a specific routine for myself. And just watching this, your presentation, now I see the difference. When you don't have any plan at all, you just wake up and randomly, like today, I wake up late and then I was on social media, and then now it's noon here in the East Coast. So where my morning went. So I'm realizing how important it is to have these setups. And as Kimberly just said, maybe the day will be different, but give yourself permission to embrace the idea that keeping this schedule will be beneficial for your health as well.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing. Like I said, our behaviors are so unconscious. And I'm that way too. It's like, what happened to the day? Well, I went on the internet to do one thing, or social media, and I went down a rabbit hole, and 30, 40 minutes later, I end up somewhere else. So just having this tool and this is I like to call them living documents. It's a growth tool, and it's not set in stone. So use this as a tool to embrace, as Kimberly was saying, empower you. This is an empowerment tool. And is there anyone else who would like to share? How about you, Dr. Carla? I'll go out to you.
Well, good morning. I love this scorecard. Mine just continuously to change because as I rid myself of negative habits or habits that do not benefit my vision, it tends to just keep evolving. So as we write down our habits right today, these are going to change over time. They're going to the order, we are making decisions, we're growing. And for me, I wake up, I start with meditation, prayer, and then I move into getting up, taking care of those hygiene needs, also moving into some other areas of prep so that I can move into some major goals. But they're all listed. And I've been writing these scorecards for a while. And as I said, as you grow, they continue to grow with you, they continue to change, and you need to make sure you are aware of what you are doing so that you can continue to benefit from assessments. And with that, I turn it back over to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carlin. I was actually just thinking, I just mentioned like do a scorecard for every day, but even morning, afternoon, and evening times, I know my schedule changes, and you don't realize how much you do until you start writing it down. So maybe just chunking it down a little bit will become more manageable, because doing this for the first time can get overwhelming when you're thinking about it. So just remember, it's not really like a bad habit. We're saying bad habit, but is it really an effective habit? Is it really going to help you become the person that you want to become, so that you can achieve that identity-based, I'm sorry, I'm going to chop that identity-based habit that you want to grow into. So I like to go out to Miss Val Medley. We love to hear your insights about the habit scorecard.
Thank you, Michelle. I know when we first got exposed to it from the book, it was the form to start out, but oops, gee whiz, yikes. However, I realized how much I do on autopilot. I mean, autopilot. And then again, as you've already said, awareness, so that you can look at what doesn't need to be there as pertains to the vision that you have for yourself. So it's a great tool. Turn it back over to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Val. And just remember, the initial goal of this particular exercise is not to change your behavior. It's really to observe and record habits without making changes initially. It's just an awareness tool. So with that, we're going to continue on with our workshop, and I'm going to go ahead and actually hand it back over to Miss Val Medley, who's going to be talking about the identity-based habit and who you wish to become.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Well, it is August the 3rd. It finally has come. And I'm just as excited as I can be about participating in this workshop. And so taking a look at identity-based habits. I remember when I first read from the book, but when Mr. Clear says that we need to unlearn, progress requires unlearning. And as I began digging more and more, I said, well, I'm going to add a subtitle, and I'd like to share that with you. Progress requires unlearning, because to become the best version of yourself. And you can do that when you continually edit your beliefs and when you continually upgrade and expand your identity. And from his information, we've all been exposed to, it says that the true lasting behavior change requires identity change. True lasting behavior change requires identity change. So it's all about who you wish to become instead of what you want to achieve. So to change any behavior for good, you must start believing new things about yourself, and be careful to not default to getting particular outcomes. We don't want to default there. Building identity-based habits. We are what we repeatedly do. So this was exciting to discover, choosing the deeper growth identity outcomes versus results outcomes or process outcomes. It was really, really, really thrilling. And I really feel like I have a handle on it at this time. So the formation of all habits is a feedback loop. This is a little review. The formation of all habits is a feedback loop. Your brain builds habits. This is the feedback loop behind all human behavior. You try, you fail, you learn, and then you try something different. And with practice, the useless movements fade away and the useful actions get reinforced. Most importantly, with identity-based habits and identity change, we strongly allow values, principles, and identity drive the loop rather than your results You want to focus always on becoming the type of person that will get you where you want to be. So I'm going to offer us a couple of exercises, but before I do that, I want to, in the spirit of sharing context with information, I want to explore or present to you a few terms um, that wasn't particularly mentioned with Mr. James Clear, but we have had it in other books that we've done. So identity, what is an identity? Um, it's your beliefs and your assumptions um, about yourself that drive long-term behavior. It's those biases about yourself and others. It's your mindset. It's your attitude. It's your distinctions. What makes you you? It's your uniqueness. It's your core values. It's your skills. It's your clarity of purpose. Um, so desired mindsets should be growth. Undesired mindsets should be undesired mindsets, which I've recognized over time, from time to time, where you have a fixed mindset. Desired attitudes would be positive and good, and undesired would be negative or poor. So today, right now, we are what we repeatedly do. And here's a paraphrase from Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, it's but a habit. And we have 3 levels of behavior change that we've been exposed to in this information. And so I'm going to say something that you can tuck away to recall. I want to be, do, and have in that order. Usually I just want to have. But the B is identity based. Become your desired identity. And then that do is your process and the habit, experience and your experience and your achievements. And then the have is reward. What kind of results do I want? So it's beneficial, guys, for us to shift our focus to being and becoming. I am the type of person that, dot, dot, dot. And here's a little, I think, very valuable little point. Build up a volume of work that creates personal productivity. So I'm going to offer us on a sheet of paper that you already have, and you can use it on your wheel. Create an identity statement for yourself. Create an identity statement. I am Valerie Medley, and I am the type of person that, dot, dot, dot. So when you put your name there, you are who you are, and you are the type of person that gets to where you want to go. All right. So here we go. I'm going to use, I have 2 exercises. Let me check my time. Oh, okay, I have 2 exercises, and they're going to be 4 minutes each. And the first one, oh, so Dr. Carl has the wheel up there, so I'll work with the wheel first. Okay. Um, so I'm going to call that um the life mastery. And as you see, there's 8 segments there. And the idea is that we have certain areas of your life. Now, what I'd like you to do, even though there's 8 of them, I'm going to say this is the start of reprogramming or reframing or habituating. That's what we're doing with this life mastery wheel. So we're going to help you with your growth needs and your growth desires. The purpose for that wheel is to show you in the areas that you select, whichever 8 you select, going to show you your strengths, your weaknesses, where you are, and where you may be stuck. Here's an example. You might value health. You're conscious of what you eat. You exercise, you invest your attention in the areas of health. You eat well. But then on the other hand, maybe in another segment, you might not be living within your means, within your financial means, which hinders you from serving and helping others, keeps you stressed out. So that might be a financial money category you might want to select. I'm suggesting once you label the 8 of areas that are important to you, we just want to select 2. You just want to select 2 because you can't make these kinds of changes that are going to be lasting It has to do with your identity all at once. You can only do one or two, no more than two. One could be in your personal life, one could be in your professional life, your career, or your business. So you want to create a customized life mastery wheel, which is what we have there. Determine the 8 categories, select two, and as Dr. Carla has 8. I see the ones that I have a little different is contribution, self-development or personal growth, social, career, business, family, health, spiritual life. You prioritize underlying. Now here's the biggie: when you're dealing with identity based, you want to prioritize the underlying beliefs, core values, and current skills. Um, so, and I also would like to suggest that when you choose your 8 and then work on your 2, write a description of each category and what it means to you, and ask yourself questions. What identity will I or do I desire to strive towards? What identity do I choose to strive for in this area? And okay, so can somebody tell me how I am with the time? Wait a minute, I can check it myself. Okay, so I have a few, yeah, I have till 12:45. Okay, so if you have your workbook, and there is a sheet there that Michelle's placed in there, I really would like to ask you to um, take randomly two, one personal and one career-based, and select what you would. And then I'm going to ask after a couple of minutes if somebody would just kind of raise their hand or share what 2 they selected. You don't have to tell us what you said. So we'll give it 2 minutes and we'll share. Okay. I'll let us know when we have 1 minute left. Thank you for putting that up, that sheet there. Okay.
And everybody will be sent the workbook, so no worries there.
Family, we have 1 additional minute. Just, which areas would you like to delve into? Were you going to make the application on developing whatever area, 1 or 2, in terms of identity-based area of your life that you want to create, develop, improve upon, get unstuck with? Okay. Would anybody like to share an area that they decided to focus on?
Hi, everybody.
And
I'll share. This is Tanya.
okay,
I'm here in New Jersey, Southern New Jersey, right across the bridge from Philly, as we like to say. So listen, I'm selecting business and I'm selecting uh professional development. And professional development is so important because there's so much information that I can tap into right from my phone in my back office. And as I tap into that information, whether I'm listening to a video, looking at a PDF, that type of thing, it really will help me then in my business because I really need to get consistent in my business.
well, thank you, Tanya, for sharing. I'm
You're
gonna
welcome.
thank you so much. Okay, guys, that's what Tanya's contribution is going to lead me right into how do we do this identity-based habit development. So here we go. Um, you're going to ask yourself a few questions. It's a 3-step process. Who do I wish to become? I'm going to call it who do I wish to become exercise. 3 steps. So on a blank sheet of paper, and here we have one right here before us. You could say, I want to achieve, or I want to have, or I want to become better at. So now how do I make those statements become identity-based habits? The first thing would be is identify by saying what it is that you want to do better, we want to be better at. That's number one. What do you want to become? What do you want to do better at? That's number one. The number two is make your identity-based habit statement. I will become the type of person who XYZ. And then three would be small wins. Prove to yourself that you are becoming with small actions, establish time and place when that you can reinforce your desired identity. And it would be things like what type of person could or can become that type of person. So let me give you some examples of that. All right, so here's one identity. I would like to become physically stronger. Identity. Become the type of person who never misses a workout. And then a small win would be do push-ups every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Another one would be I want to be taken seriously at my job or my place of work. I want to be taken seriously at my place of work. The identity-based goal or habit would become the type of person who is always on time. And what does a small win looks like in that area? Schedule meetings with an additional 15-minute gap between the meetings so that you can go from meeting to meeting and always show up early. And a third example would be, I want to be a better friend. I would like to be a better friend. So the identity-based habits would be become the type of person who always stays in touch. And a small win could look something like this. You call one friend every Saturday, or you call a different friend every Saturday. If you repeat that same process over 3 months, you would have touched 12 people, and they know that you're thinking about them throughout the year. So those are examples of identity-based habits. And I'm going to give you some thoughts of sentences that you can ask yourself. I have 8 of them. I'm going to be really quick. The first one says, what type of person is in the position? What type of person in the position you want to be in? Who do you know, or what type of person is in the position you want to be in? The second question, what small decisions or actions align with your desired identity? A third question you can ask yourself, when and where can you start practicing these habits? And then a fourth would be, who is the type of person who can achieve the outcomes you want? Who do you want to be would be question 5. 6, what values do you want to stand for? 7, what principles are important to you? And number 8, what would a small win look like in the areas you're going to develop this new identity in? And let's see, I'm out of time. So you can practice those questions and really then develop your identity-based habit. And Michelle, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Val. And as I said, this is just a getting started choice. So really, we're so excited that you took the time to really think about your identity-based habit. And now we're going into the third part of our workshop, which is implementation intention. And I'm going to turn this portion over to Dr. Carla Gray.
Hello, everyone. I really am enjoying this workshop, and we're looking at identity-based habits at this time. And I did choose 2 areas. One of them was a health area, and the other one was a business area. And with that, the habits that I chose, they actually tie into making sure that I can implement them in a way that will be effective. And as I go through and just share with you, I want to share with you my identity as we go through this process. Michelle introduced me as Dr. Carla Gray, the greatness coach, at the beginning of this session, but let me reintroduce myself based on my new identity-based health habit. I am an athlete that for a 5K competition runner. Also, my identity-based business habit is I am a dominating master sales representative. So if you have written an identity-based habit, you're taking over a new identity. And you can reintroduce yourself as that. As we go forward, now I just wanted to just share with you something. We have all done this. We've had a great ideal, and we have, sorry, this thing stuck. So we've had a great ideal about a goal that we wanted to achieve, only to find out or just find ourselves being stuck, and procrastinating. We might procrastinate for a day, a week, months, or even years, because initially we're a little motivated, but that motivation wanes. And how can we actually get motivation when we want to achieve something? You probably have said, oh, I want to write a book, I want to start a new business, I want to start a new exercise program, and just got stuck. Well, we have something that is a great tool that we use that is called implementation intentions. And it's a plan that you make about when and where to act. When we look at when to where and where to act, it actually gives us cues that triggers us to be inspired to do something. Have you ever had an appointment with someone, like a lunch appointment, and you were anticipating getting there and you knew what time it was going to be and where it was going to be? Well, that's the same thing we have to do when it comes down to achieving our goals. With an implementation intention, it's just really a simple way to apply this strategy to your habits. And basically, the formula is, I will behave at a particular time at a location. We see the behavior, that is a particular cue. The time is a cue, and the location is also a cue. In your workbook, you do have this particular sheet, and we're actually going to write some implementation intentions. And with the implementation intentions, you will find that you no longer have to look for motivation. It is there. I'm going to give you one good reason why you want to write an implementation intention. We're 3 times more likely to do it if we have the statement written and we see it. If we write down, I will behave at a specific time and a location, it's 3 times more likely to do it. If we're going to go to the doctor's appointment, how many times have you scheduled it and you actually showed up and carried it through? That's what an implementation intention will do for you. There are a few examples here. I will meditate for 1 minute at 3 a.m. in my kitchen. I will study Spanish for 20 minutes at 6 p.m. in my bedroom. Exercise, I will exercise for 1 hour at 5 p.m. in my local gym. So these are some examples. Val shared with us specifically, we can write down the type person that we wish to become. And here we have how we can do it. We can write down and assure that we have a better chance of getting it done with an intention, because, as I said, we've all had goals that we intended to do, but now we have an implementation intention, a formula, and we can get there. I wanted to just share with you, this is me reintroducing myself. Yes, I am a greatness coach, but I also, as I shared before, I am a strong athletic 5K competition runner. And I'm about that business. I'm about being intentional. I will behave at a time and a particular location. I will train for my 5K races at 6:45 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the running trail across the street from my home. I'm about that business because I'm intentional. Yes, I've had goals to be an athlete for years, but until I got intentional with a formula, I was just a walker. But today, I'm about that business. I'm a runner and I'm an athlete and I'm running races. I wanted to share with you my new identity, business-based habit. Yes, I'm about to reintroduce myself. I'm a dominating master sales representative. And I'm about that business. I'm intentional about implementing my newfound business venture in sales. I will network to meet my target clients to fill my sales pipeline at 12 p.m. at lunchtime on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at predetermined conferences, events, and activities. I'm about that business. Are you about that business? Are you intentional? Are you intentional? Well, let's be about that business. We are going to take our identity-based habit that we've written, at least one, and we're going to be about that business. We're going to write, I will behave at a particular time and a location. Can we do that? Can we be about the business?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'll be about that business.
Yes, we will unlearn for progress by writing our implementation intentions. And I want you to take at least 2 minutes right now to take one of those identity-based habits. And if you haven't finished, you can look at the model, write one, and then write an intention, implementation intention. Take about 2 minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to dive deeper. We're going to really solidify it. So if you could give us that time, keep us the time with it, Michelle.
Okay, I'll give us 2 minutes, you said, Dr. Carlin?
Yes, at least try for 2 minutes, just a skeleton of your identity-based habit along with your identity implementation intention.
Perfect. Timer's on. We got 20 seconds. Okay, time's up.
Yay, you did it. You did it. I just need a couple people who about that business to share. Who's about the business? Raise your hand.
Hey, I'll jump in.
All right. Can you share us?
I'm about
Introduce yourself and then tell us how intentional you are.
So, introducing myself, I am Michelle Wilson, and I am a strong, healthy, and spiritually grounded woman. And so, one of my intentions is every morning at 6 a.m. in a quiet, dedicated space in my home, I will meditate for 15 minutes while using a guided meditation app in silence, and I will pray after my meditation.
Yay, Michelle is about that business. Do we have someone else that's about the business? Raise your hand. We just need a couple more people about to close it out.
I'll share, Dr. Carla.
Oh, sure.
I am a sought after, highly paid inspirational speaker. And I study my craft weekly, noon on Wednesdays at Toastmasters and 4 p.m. on Stage Time University.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Does anyone that's want to share? We're about to close out. We just would love to, if you have one that you'd like to share, please feel free.
So I have one for each that I just wrote while we were in our time. So I will watch one business video in prospect at 4:30 p.m. at my desk, and I will make 2 to 5 calls at 8 p.m. Monday, Thursday, Friday in my living room.
Oh, you're about the business.
I'm about the business.
You're about the business, being intentional. Yes, that's the motivation we're talking about. We have 3 different cues there. And when we take on that new identity-based habit and we apply the intentional implementation intention, yes, we don't have to wait for motivation. We don't have to wait for inspiration. We can be about that business. And I turn it back over to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carla. Yes, it's amazing that we came together as a mastermind group and we are about that business. So today, we just implemented some strategies that we've learned from Atomic Habits. We started off with the power sheep. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for really just identifying some of those terms and key strategies that we've learned. And then I shared the scorecard. So, as I said, this is a getting started choice. So please continue with that scorecard because it's all about awareness. All transformation begins with awareness. And then we have Val Medley, who talked about the identity-based business, identity-based, actually the behavior and our habits. And she shared with us the wheel of the wheel of life. And so please take that tool. And then, of course, Dr. Carla, all about that business, the implementation intention statement. And so the next steps after today is review your habit scorecard, identify and choose other focuses in your area using the wheel of life, and then write down your identity-based habit that will help you improve the person that you want to become. It's about effective choices in your life. And then, of course, write down that implementation intention that will what you will do to help you identify and create that new identity-based habits. And then I also just want to remind you that you can join us every day. Well, not every day, Monday through Friday on Clubhouse. Our house is Word for the Day. Mastermind. We also have our email, we have our website, and we also have our Facebook group. And as I said, we share these strategies we're working through. We're in chapter 9 of Atomic Habits, and we meet at 6:30 a.m. Pacific, and that's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And it's the power of compound interest, right? We are compounding our habits every day for 15 minutes a day. We say we're in the mind gym during that period of time. Did you want to share something, Kimberly?
We record all of our calls, and while the replays aren't up forever and ever, if it's not possible for you to meet at 6:30 in the morning Pacific time or 9:30 Eastern, you can just go to Clubhouse and you can replay the 15-minute segment that we had on that day and just plug in and learn along with us. And we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you.
Now, the one thing that we learned over the years, our responsibilities as leader is to help each other grow. And that's really why it's a heart, the dedication of the leaders in our community. This is, it's a free event. I mean, we've been doing it for 14 years, and I know that it has actually changed my life being in that environment, consistent environment. And so I want to end with this quote by James Clear. It's all about the tiny changes that create remarkable results. But James Clear says, if you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you, the problem is your system. So with that, we're going to say bye-bye for now, and we hope you all join us on Monday.
Bye.